Welcome back, Horse Shop Yard. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the alternator on your 1997 to 2002 Ford Expedition. Whether it's a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, mine just happens to be four-wheel drive, with your 5.4 Triton or your 4.6 Triton. It's the exact same basic, procedure for the alternator on both of them. So I'm going to show you what you need and how to replace your alternator. Now, here's everything you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need your brand new alternator. I bought this as a brand new Duralast old new alternator 100% from AutoZone. I paid, I think, $250 for it. And when you're buying electrical parts, alternators, starters, you want brand new. You don't want any manufactured. I don't trust the manufacturer. You want 100% new. That's what I bought. $250 at AutoZone. You're going to need your serpentine belt removal tool. Right here. Comes in different sockets, different extensions. You can get this at Harbor Freight, so I bought this one. 25 or so bucks. You're going to need an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, and it's probably going to be a 12mm socket to remove the ground cable on your alternator. So, here's how easy it is to replace. First, you want to make sure either your negative or your positive battery terminal is disconnected. As you can see, my positive terminal is disconnected. The starter right there is on top, so it's easy to get to. So let's swap it out. So the very first thing we're going to do is going to remove our beauty cover right here. Two bolts, two 10mm bolts. So let's remove that first. Alrighty. Get a 1/4-inch ratchet, 1/4-inch socket. There's one loose. Get the other one over on this side. Right here. Alright, we'll get them loosened up and we'll come back. Alright, so we got our beauty cover out of the way. Put the bolts back where they go so I don't lose them. They're in there. Now I want to take our 10mm and remove the air intake ducting. We'll remove these two vacuum hoses here, if I can. They can sometimes be stuck. And pop that out right there. And this one, come on, baby. Whew. They can be stuck in there. It's been a long time. So I've had this thing apart to do anything to it. Alright, so let's remove our air intake duct. Again, just an 8mm socket on a 1/4-inch drive. Get nice and loose. Slide off of there. Do this side too. Wherever it's at, right there. Slide that out of the way. Alright, then once that's off, just kind of give it a wiggle it. You gotta wiggle it because it's stuck on there. I don't think I've ever had this air intake off. Come on, baby. Alright. Pull it off, we'll come back. Also, you want to unplug your air intake temperature sensor right there. Pop off just like that. Stick it over here. Alright. Alright, now I got all the air intake loose and out of the way. Now you're going to want to come over here and you're going to have your power lead for your alternator. It's right here. Just want to grab it. Where'd it go? Grab it and just gently pull up on it. You can see off it comes. And then you have your Other power lead for your alternator is right here. This big red wire. You're going to want to grab a, looks like it's going to be a 10 mil. It's going to be a 10 millimeter socket for your other ground power lead. Come on, baby. It's a 10 millimeter socket to remove the other ground cable. It's right there. I got it disconnected. Now we're going to remove the belt. Your tensioner's down there. Now you want to take your serpentine belt removal tool. Comes with these two pieces. You're going to put this in just like that, and it snaps in just like that. You're going to go right down on the tensioner, and right there, my finger is where you're going to put it to loosen the belt. So we're going to get it on there. Alright, now that it's on there, you're just going to pull as hard as you can to the right. It'll loosen the tension. You can reach down here and slide the belt off. So, let's do that. Alright, now I got the belt off the alternator. You ain't got to take it all the way off. I am going to be replacing this belt, but I can't do it today because AutoZone and everywhere else is out of stock. But the belt's now off, as you can see. It's free spinning. So now you got two 8mm bolts, one there and one right there to remove your alternator. So let's remove that next. Alright guys, correction's a 10mm. So let's get the alternator out now. Alrighty guys, now I got both bolts broke loose, holding the alternator on, and you might find this is the original alternator from 2001, so that's 23 years it's been on here. So those bolts are going to be tight, and I had to use since I didn't have a regular piece of pipe, I had to use my jack handle and stick on the end of it and break them loose. But they're loose now. Let's get the alternator off. And I forgot one wire, guys. It's right here. I'm gonna need to remove it as well. See if I can get it off. Got both bolts holding the alternator in out. As you can see, they're long as can be. Might just spray some WD-40 on the ends of them because you see a bunch of corrosion. Again, this has been on there for 23 years. Original alternator, and it's time to replace. Let's get the old one out. Alright guys, bear with me. There's actually 3 bolts holding the alternator on. I missed one. You got the 2 down there, of course, and you got one right there. My finger is. And it's gonna look like this right here. It's right there in that hole. So now let's pull the alternator out. And that one little wire right here I told you, it goes right there. I had to take my pocket knife and just gently pry up on that, and it came right off. Be careful. Plastic, 23 years old. It will break if you're not careful. The alternator's all the way out now, so let's lift it up and out. And there she is, guys. There's the old original Ford Motorcraft alternator, 23 years old. And we'll flip it around. Kind of see right there, it says Motorcraft. Original alternator from 2001, 23 years old. Let's get the new one. Match it up, make sure it's all the same, looks all the same, and install it. There you go, guys. As you can see, both alternators look identical. Out with the old, in with the new. Make sure the connections look right. 1, 2, 3. They're all the same. So let's install this bad boy. I can't film putting it back in, but once I get it in and everything's situated, we'll come back. Alright guys, got the new alternator in, getting it put back in now. Just be careful when you're doing this job. You don't want to cross thread any of your bolts, so make sure everything's lined up, make sure get it started by hand good before you start tightening it down with the ratchet. And just, take your time, take it easy. You'll get it in, just keep playing with it, and it'll go in, fall right into place. Another good tip, when you're bolting it all back up, do one side at a time. Run one side in a little bit, and swap over to the other side. Make sure it seats evenly so it's not sitting cockeyed. You don't want to break the belt when you put it all back together because it's in a bind. Make sure everything's nice and snugged up and even. Alright, that one's starting to get tight. Everything went in there smoothly. Had to work it a little bit, but it went in. Just kind of work it in. Slow, make sure everything seats just right. Alright, that one's snuggy. That one's starting to get snug. There's that one. Alright. Nice. Tight. Now you don't want to strip it, so don't go hard. You just want to get it good and snug. You don't want to overstripping it. Okay. Now we'll put the last bolt in, holding it on, so everything's good and secure. Put this last bolt in here. Alright. Now again, you want to make sure I had to loosen the alternator back up to get this last bolt in, and get it lined up and get it started. But make sure you do everything right. You don't want to strip out nothing, cross thread no bolts, and then you can go back down and tighten up your other two bolts. And now the new alternator's all the way in, bolted up nice and tight like it's supposed to be. Now we can start connecting our power leads and our ground leads. We'll be back. Alrighty, now we got all our power leads hooked back up. That one's in. That one's all the way in. And our other ground strap is nice and tight. Once it gets snug, you don't want to overstrip it, but over tighten it and strip it, but just when it gets snug, give it about another half a turn. And then cover it back up with a little rubber cover. Now, let's put the belt back on. So when I need another person out here to help me, but I ain't got nobody. But this belt is really tough to get on. So it might take me a few minutes to get this belt on, but all you gotta do is pull it back just the way you came to loosen the tension. Slide the belt back over the pulley, alternator on the alternator. And it should just slide right back on, but I'm having some difficulty. Whew. Let's get it. I knew I'd get it back on. I had to slip it off from around the power steering pump. And then it slipped off the water pump, so I gotta go back and adjust it. I gotta fix it back down around the AC compressor. It slipped off kind of, but at least it's back on now. I just gotta readjust it. Alright, so now the belt's all the way back on. It's around everything. Around the alternator, around the power steering pump, around the water pump, around the AC compressor. I gotta climb under to make sure it's right on the crankshaft. But she's back on. Alright guys, I'm back. My stupid phone cut off. But the belt's all the way back on. Now it's time to start putting everything back together. Alright guys, let's start putting this thing back together. That just pisses me off. Right in the middle of filming. And the stupid phone stopped recording. Alright, so the alternator's all the way back on. Go back through and give it another double check. Make sure all the bolts are good and tight. Kind of hard to do with a belt on now, but it is what it is. That one's tight. That one's tight. And that one's tight. Alright. Belt's back on. New alternator's on. Let's remove the 17 belt removal tool. Get come off. I got ants on me. There we go. Put that back in its case when I'm done. Now, let's put the air intake back on real quick. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Everything's connected. Everything's tight. Alright, let's slide the throttle body back on. Where it's supposed to be, just like that. Make sure the hoses are all reinstalled. Okay, that goes in. Where's this one? This one, there it is. Goes back in like that. Slide it back in like there. There's that one. Alright. Let's tighten them up. It's going to be the 8mm. That's nice and tight. You don't want any air leaks. Go. It's nice and tight. It's not going to come off. Let's do this side now. Make sure it's all the way on where it needs to be. Alright, there's that one. So what happens when you're short, you just can't film the way you want to. You got to sit up in your engine bay and film. But hey, that's just the way God made me. Make sure all your hoses and your clamps are nice and tight. So you don't want a vacuum leak. That was tight. Plug your air intake temperature sensor back in. You heard it click. Now, let's put the beauty cover back on. Make sure to take the bolts out. Again, it's the exact same procedure whether you got the 5.4 like in this or the 4.6 in my blue truck right over here or in my white Expedition up on the hill. Both those have the 4.6. This has got the 5.4. So it's the same basic procedure. Not that hard to do. Just take your time. You don't want to lose any of the bolts down inside the engine. Trust me, haven't done that. I've come close to doing that. I drop it down. It would fall, and thank God it fell right on the edge, and I was able to grab it with my magnet. So let's get our beauty cover back on. It's supposed to be. There's that one. And I'll put this one in first since it's easiest to see. Get started by hand and get this one lined up where it needs to be. Right. There's the bolt hole. There's, come on baby, where you at? I know you're right here. There you are. Alright, got that one going in. Let's snug them up. Both of them 8mm again. Oops, sorry, that was a 10. This beauty cover is supposed to have 3 bolts in it, but one of them's missing when we bought the truck. So, nice and snug. Alright. That's nice and snug. As I still got play in it because it's missing 1 bolt back here. No big deal. It ain't going nowhere. Alright. Beauty cover's back on, air intake's back on, everything's nice and tight, sensors are plugged in, alternator's got power, belt's back on, like it's supposed to be, everything's nice and snug and tight, like it's supposed to be. Check this shit out, guys. Look at here. Rhinestone. Dirt dauber nest. Look at that big joker. It was resting right down here on one of my hoses. where it sat for about 2 years. And so I can go in the yard. So let's fire it up, make sure the belt don't fly off, and then we'll start putting our tools back up. See what'll happen. We'll reconnect our positive cable. Now this one doesn't tighten off all the way. It's got the head stripped on it, but it's good enough. Let's fire it up and see what happens. Here goes nothing. So what are our battery voltage? It's up good, like it's supposed to be. Alright. There she is, boys. I think we did a good job. The belt hadn't flew off. Everything's nice and tight. Like I said, I am going to replace the belt, but I'm not going to do it right now because I can't. I got to order one offline because they don't have it AutoZone or Advance. But everything's working. Everything's nice and tight. Belt's back on. I don't hear any air leaks. Everything's back together. Belt's riding fine. Let's cut her off. Cut him up. Oh shit. So there you have it, boys. There's an alternator replacement on you. 97 to 2002 Ford Expedition or F-150. The F-150s go from 97 to 2003. The Expeditions go from 97 to 2002 with the 5.4 or the 4.6. It's the same basic procedures like I mentioned. But I've been waiting to do this for quite a long time. And thank the good Lord it stopped raining. It's one of the most irritating things in the world for me is rain. Because I'm an outdoorsman. I like being outside. Can't stand being cooped up inside. But the alternator is replaced. I want to thank y'all for watching. And remember, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another one of my videos. Like, comment, and share. Share with all your friends. There's the old alternator. Original 23 years old with 232,000 miles on it. And Frankie is one step closer to being back on the road. All I got to do now is replace the brake caliper bracket bolts on the front passenger side because one of them's missing. So I'm going to replace them both with brand new ones. And tag and insurance and try to figure out how to get that door latch fixed and replaced because I can't seem to find one anywhere. Because as y'all can see, my setup right now holding the door shut's a ratchet strap. And you hear that dinging. Since that door's not latched all the way, it won't latch. That's why the chime constantly goes off. So I can't leave the battery connected. But once I get the brake caliper bracket bolt fixed, the door latch replaced, and the tag and insurance on him, he'll be back on the road. And the very first thing I'm going to do when I get him back on the road, I'm going to take him to work and get the tires rotated because I just had both the front tires replaced. That wheel is brand new, so I was missing a center cap. Got to order a center cap. And then after that, take him to work, get the tires rotated. These tires right here are about 4 years old. They're worn down about halfway, so I'm going to have them rotated. So, but Frankie's a damn good truck. I've been misdriving him. Ready to put him back on the road. Like I said, after I get him back on the road, get the brake caliper bracket bolt replaced, door latch fixed, tag and insurance. The very next thing I'm going to have to do is start tuning him up. Spark plugs, ignition coils, and 4 new oxygen sensors. He'll be running like a scalded ape. So, let's get cleaned up. Once again, I want to thank y'all for watching. This is not a hard job to do, as y'all could tell. I know I'm not the best at filming, and I can't edit anything, but I don't have that kind of time. But as y'all can see, it's not that hard to do. Take your time, go slow, and if you're replacing your alternator or starter, make sure you buy 100% new. I buy all my alternators and starters at AutoZone. Duralast Gold, brand new, 100% new, with a lifetime warranty. So if either one of them ever goes out, they'll give you another one free. So that's it for today, guys. I'm gonna get cleaned up, go wash up, go sit down and relax, and enjoy the rest of my day off. I worked a full 12-hour shift yesterday from 7 to 7, getting my overtime, and trying to get my vacation time built back up, because I'm ready to take another vacation in Tennessee. But Frankie's one step closer to being back on the road. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. And you'll never miss another one of my videos. So, again, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good Tuesday. I'll see y'all on the next one.